Is griefing healthy for the finals, and can it be fixed? Well, in this video, I'll be fleshing out my thoughts on griefing and all the questions that it brings up. Additionally, I have a solution that could at least mitigate some of these adverse effects that come about from griefing. So, everybody has experienced griefing in ranked. Their team is either performing well or is a high rank. So, in turn, the entire lobby gangs up on, teams up to knock them out. This way, the final round will be easier for certain teams. And, I do this all the time. Why wouldn't I? If I have the opportunity to remove Ruby players from the lobby, I will, because it'll make it easier for me to win and easier for me to rank up. So the real problem is it's just how easy it is to identify and target the teams that you are griefing. Additionally, griefing encourages teaming and sows seeds of hate among the community. Because I'm a member of many discords that are full of top 500 players, and when these players see their friends, they'll ask not to be griefed. On top of that, when you're in a lobby with a friend, they'll sometimes ask you to work together, or other teams will work together to grief out the top team, and it's unfair. However, the way Cash Out is designed encourages this type of faux or pseudo cheating. And I've actually received messages after games saying, "Why did you kick me out? Couldn't you have helped us in or let us in? Or why'd you let someone else in and not me?" Because of this, I opt to just grief out the highest ranked team every time. However, there's a way to avoid this, and that's important. There's a way to maybe update the rank system in order to stop this from happening. And I think a great way to mitigate these problems would be to make it so your ranked score in a game is not public. That means people would not be able to see your rank until they're knocked out of the tournament. So currently in ranked, if you look by people's names, you'll see their score. It'll say platinum, show the platinum icon. It'll show 36k RS, or it'll show a ruby icon, show 48k RS, whatever it is. And a lot of other games do this, I'm pretty sure. In CSGO, you can see your teammates' ranks, and maybe not even your teammates' ranks. I haven't played that game in a while, but at the end of the game, the ranks are revealed. It wouldn't be an issue in CSGO to show the ranks beforehand. However, in the finals, it is an issue. The main issue that appears due to ranks being shown on the screen is that the lobby is usually scared of their Ruby team. So to further elaborate, when a lobby, for example, has 3 teams of platinums and golds and 1 Ruby team, the Ruby team is essentially immune or has some sort of Ruby aura. And when I say immune, I mean that people would rather not challenge the Ruby squad and take their chances. So they'd rather play a 3v3v3 on the other cash out. And in my opinion, this does not encourage healthy gameplay. Additionally, not only will the Ruby team get a free cash out, a free point, they'll have the opportunity to clean up the other massive team fight going on at the other cash out. If it were to finish early, which it most likely will, because people are avoiding the Ruby teams, so they can get the plug early and stagger the cash out, making it way easier to third party. I can confirm this because I am on both ends. I'm on both ends of this problem. Sometimes when there's a high rank Ruby team in the lobby and I'm just a mid-tier Ruby team, well, I experience the adverse effects. And when I'm the only Ruby team in the lobby, sometimes I win rounds without getting a kill. There's no point. I can just sit there and chill out on my cash out. And sometimes third party doesn't really matter. So in my opinion, hiding ranks until you are knocked out of the tournament would really help with this. And you can also still flex your rank by having the Ruby badge on your player card, and people will see it after. If that is a grievance that someone might have with a suggestion. So, if these ranks were to be hidden, nobody's going to know who's good and who's Ruby. And at that point, most cash outs would probably be contested. However, I will say there is a caveat, because the best Ruby teams are obviously known among the community. If you see Belize or Lycommit or Lamp or Brendy, etc., Z, those people in a game, even if their ranks are hidden, you still know they're the best. Unless they were to put something like, unless they were to enable streamer mode. But, You can't require that. Also, it's important to note when there are two Ruby teams in the lobby, both Ruby teams are trying to grief each other out. They end up using the plats and golds as a means to an end to help get one of the plats and golds in and knock out the other Ruby team. So essentially, rubies are the only thing that matter in a lobby because they're either ignored or they're the two using the lesser teams, the lower ranked teams, in order to manipulate the outcome. And in my opinion, this is very boring. And lower ranked players who get put into these lobbies are not, they're playing to lose less. They're not playing to win, right? Or they're playing to get into the good graces of the Ruby team and have the Ruby team let them in. Because actually, let's say you're a plat team playing against a Ruby team, right? There's a plat team, a Ruby team, two other plat and gold teams, right? If you're the plat team that's doing well, the Ruby team is going to target and grief you out of the game. So if you are not the Ruby team in the lobby, sometimes it's in your best interest to just play poorly, because then the Ruby team's going to think, wow, these guys aren't great, so I'm just going to let them in. Also, although ranks being displayed is a problem and making it so ranks, aren't displayed would fix some issues, it is important to note that the root problem is just that the ranked player base is too small, right? If there were more players playing ranked, this wouldn't happen because there'd be full lobbies of Ruby teams and, there'd still be griefing, and that is part of the game, but it wouldn't be, one Ruby team versus a full team of golds and plats, a full lobby of golds and plats. But, sadly, at the time, there are barely enough Ruby stacks to even put one in a game, let alone two. I don't think this season I've played against, I've been in a lobby where there's not just one other team of a similar caliber. It would very rare occurrence in season 4 to have a full round of rubies. It was actually very exciting. It was like, wow, we never get to see this. And finally, to conclude, before anyone mentions this, it is important to note that to an extent, third partying is a legitimate strategy and part of the game, right? For example, if you're wiped and you spawn back in and both cash shots are 75% completed, no matter what you rank, it makes more sense to contest the cash out that already has two teams fighting, because it's going to be easier to clean that up quickly than take on an entire team fight with only 25% of the cash out left and still get the steal. However, that is still much different than completely avoiding teams due to their rank, right? Just because of their rank, or because you're teaming, or because you're griefing someone out who's your friend. There are a lot of issues. Anyway, these are just some basic bird's eye view thoughts and a potential solution. So I'd just like to say, thank you for taking the time to watch the whole way through. Feel free to leave a comment, leave your thoughts, because it'd be cool to open a discourse on this topic. I didn't see any YouTube videos out there. Maybe there's something out there on Reddit. So again, leave a comment, drop a like. And if you want to see Ruby level PS5 controller gameplay, check out my Twitch, links in the description. Thanks for watching.